Welcome back to Firearms, Fuel, and Fabrication. In this episode, we're going to be going over the Tristar Raptor ATAC. It's 20-inch 12 gauge, takes 2 3/4 or 3-inch. It's a sub $350 12 gauge, semi-auto. Comes with a lot of things for the price actually. It's got a real nice fiber optic sight up front, peep sight in the rear, section rail on top. Comes with this muzzle brake, which I don't know if it's a muzzle brake, flash hider. It's a muzzle brake style. Nice rubbery grip. I like to call it a poor man's Benelli. That's what caught my eye. I looked around online. There was a bunch of good reviews on it, and you seen the 3-gun match I went to. All I had was a Remington 870 pump. For the price, I figured it was worth a shot. It's not a bad shotgun. I took it out and shot it already. You'll see that later in the video. But it run really good. It run everything. I followed the directions. They say run the first 25, you want to run high brass. Run the high brass through it, and that's to break it in. But I run a whole bunch of low brass, just sporting loads through it, and it run like a top. I didn't have any issues with it, and I put about 125 rounds through it this afternoon. The quality and finish ain't too bad. It's made in Turkey, and I know a lot of people, Turkey's controversial, but you know, for the price, it's a good quality piece. The machining in it's real nice. It fit and finish is real good. It ran really good. Tear down's real easy. Lock the bolt back, and then drop your bolt. Unscrew your handguard retainer. Slide the handguard off. Barrel and recoil spring assembly. There's your bolt. And here's your recoil spring. Like I said, I took it out and run about 250 rounds, or 125, 150 roughly rounds through it, and I had no issues with it whatsoever. Another thing we're going to be doing in this video, I got another 3-gun shoot tomorrow. I want some extra ammo. This is a Tristar, and it's a 8-round extension. Gives us 3 extra rounds. Now, this gun isn't necessarily designed for it. This is for a Remington 870. Everything I found online. Threading's the same. So, spring works in it. I've seen a lot of people do it, and they've said they haven't had any issues with it, so we'll give it a shot. 1 year on the shotgun, complete warranty. 4 years on the parts. And they say that's if you don't modify it, which we're going to modify it right off the bat. But that's typical for me. Normally I don't end up using warranties anyways. I like to get hands-on with stuff and fix it myself. While I'm at it, I'm going to tear it down, clean it up, put my preferred lube on it, put it back together. I got some video for you out at the range, and covering what we got to do for the extension. All I got to do is get this plug out of here, and to do that, the end of this is actually rolled over at the end here, we're going to cut it off, and we're actually going to cut back a few threads because there's too much thread here for the handguard to retain on. So let me get this prepped and ready. Cut it down. I'll show you where it's cut down to, and we'll put the tube on, put it back together. Alright, we're going to break in the Tristar Raptor. I'm not going to sit here and make you guys go through all the rounds, but I'll run the first few rounds through with you, shoot the break in, come back and give you my opinions. But according to Tristar, you got to run 25 rounds of high brass before it'll start cycling the low brass stuff, sporting loads. And so I'm gonna run them through. I actually bought about 100 rounds to run through today. I got some low brass stuff, some mixed stuff, a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, let's load it up and see what it shoots like, huh? All right. Not bad. Didn't put any on target yet. The 18. Once I load this one in my hand, that'll be 25. It's 25. Let's grab some low stuff. Call him back in a minute. Alright, low stuff. It just kind of falls out, but she runs. So, you shoot some more through it, I'll be back with. Alright, so my thoughts. You know what? For the money this guy is, this is a great shotgun. It really is. Nice design. Nice muzzle brake on the end of it. Nice fiber optic sight. And the factory sights are pretty good. Pick rail, still a bit warm. It's light. Pistol grip feels really good. Some people don't like finger grooves, some people do. I'm usually not too partial to finger grooves, but these ones actually fit my hand pretty good today. And I'll tell you what, everything I put through the pipe of this thing, I followed the directions. Started off with high brass. I got her topped off right now with some just plain old universal 8-shot. So, sights come up real good. Blue hole in center of target on every round. Yeah. Tristar Raptor ATAC. I recommend it. Alright. Got the tube cut down, and what I did is it actually unthreads out of here. I spun the tube off, took it over to my lathe, and I actually cut off about a thumb's width of the tube, roughly. We'll call it a finger's width. What you want is enough tube that this thread's down on, and the threads aren't very deep in this. They're only about this deep. And it holds the handguard in place. You do got to take a good bit off. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, the trigger in this. Like I said, the trigger in it really is not that bad. The design, if you've looked at any aftermarket AR-15s, the design is very much like those. It's got a hook in the front and then your catch in the back. Very similar to aftermarket AR triggers. The trigger in it is really quite remarkable for a stock trigger. Tell you what, it's that JLG in there. It's even smoother than it was before. For the price of it, you really can't beat it. Quick little bit I want to throw in this video after I did the mag extension, just to throw it in here real quick. This mag extension was not a straight throw in and work. I did have to do a couple things to get it to run. It's having problems. The spring they sent with it was thrown the last round too soft, and it wasn't kicking around all the way in here so it could pick it up. So what I ended up doing was picking up a Wolf tubular magazine spring for 12 gauge. It's stock number 65165. It's like 40 inches long. It's a pretty good size of spring. I mean, I had to cut some of the spring off. You have to cut it to fit, which I did have the stock spring in it here. This is the spring that come with it, and the stock spring that was in the gun. If you do one of these, there's the plug up on the end that I showed you that you have to get out, and then you cut the tube off. What I did is stuck that metal cap over the end of this and put another spring over top like this. That worked, but I wanted one solid spring, so I ordered this Wolf. I laid it out to this, and you can see how long it was because I made it actually a couple inches longer than this and cut it off. So I mean, it was 40 some inches long. It was a pretty good long spring. But after I did that, the other thing I had to do is where these two tubes connect, the tube I actually machined the end, I had to bevel the inside of it, because what was happening is the plug on the end here, the guide plug, was coming down and getting hung up in here. So I beveled the tube inside here, Wolf spring. It's flawless now. I went out and run the piss out of it and have had zero issues. Tristar magazine extension, Wolf spring, bevel the edge, you're good to go. So, and that's the Tristar Raptor ATAC. I'll tell you what, for the money, this thing is incredible. That's it. That's everything I did. So if you guys have one of these and want to do this yourself, you know, just cut the tube off like I said, bevel it, get this spring, and you'll be good to go. Have a good one, guys. We'll catch you in the next video.